Okay, I know I keep saying I'm excited for some of these cards, but some of these I think are my absolute favorite revealed for the set so far. Can't wait to talk about these cards. So we had some cards revealed via a Douyu Chinese live stream. And we also had one card that appeared to just kind of be on the Play Hearthstone like card library and not really revealed any other way. Interesting, and it's just a single card. And then we had Raffle put out a YouTube video revealing more cards. So again, all of that will be linked. And just a reminder as well, anyone that has not already entered, I am running a giveaway, so there will be more info at the end of the video. And let's look at some of these cards, getting into some warrior cards. So we saw some before. They seem to kind of work on like taunt mechanics, but these ones go in a different direction. So this legendary here, Thori Balor, a 4 mana 4/4 elemental with rush and a death rattle go dormant. Cast a fire spell to revive it, and it revives 2 times. Okay, pretty interesting. You can rush this 4/4, and it seems like, sure, warrior fire spells, not really a thing, but we do have some fire spells that were revealed. So on its own, a 4/4 rush that you get to just revive a couple of times with that rush without having to replay it seems pretty sweet. Uh, let's look at another minion here, Sunfury Champion, a 1 mana 1/3. After you cast a fire spell, deal 1 damage to all minions. Because it is dealing to all minions, could use this in like that aggro and rage warrior that really leans into having damaged minions and getting to buff those and work on synergies with that. And the 1/3 body itself seems pretty decent. It can take a little bit of damage itself, and still kind of live through that as an early minion. So this card seems fantastic. Then we have a fire spell, 4 mana, Sunfire Smithing. It says equip a 4/2 sword. Give a random minion in your hand +4/+2. I absolutely love this card. And honestly, this card I think is very, very well rounded for Warrior. I think this can go in a more aggressive deck where you're just looking for that damage. It can go into that kind of enrage aggro style deck where you want the buff on the body, you know, especially like before or after you've used up your weapon that buffs damaged minions, you know, just to replace that, but get buffs on things in your hand. And honestly, this might even work with some of that taunt mechanic and some different aspects of that. So I think this is an absolutely amazing card, and this is probably going to go in quite a few warrior decks. Then we have another fire spell here, Blazing Power. It's 2 mana. Give a minion +1/+1 and repeat for each damaged friendly character. So again, this kind of works with that like aggro and rage warrior deck. The fact that you just get to pick where this goes, and friendly character also means your hero. So if your hero is damaged but you don't have minions on board, or you only have 1 minion on board, I mean, you're guaranteed to at least get the 1/1. Not sure you really want to play play this for 2 mana only to get a 1/1 buff, but this seems like a pretty cool card, and it's a fire spell as well, so it kind of works with that elemental that we saw as well. And then yet another fire spell, Light of the Phoenix. This one is another 4 mana. Draw 2 cards. Costs 1 less for each damaged friendly character. Yes, yes, yes. Extra draw. Costs cheaper if you already have that. And again, damaged friendly character includes your own hero. Fantastic. I mean, getting card draw, it's that fire spell, so it kind of works in on that, but this seems pretty great. I think this is definitely going to be used quite a bit. Now, this is the card that was just kind of revealed via the Play Hearthstone website in the card library. And it's kind of interesting. It's a rogue legendary spell. The shadow spell, Shadow of Demise. Each time you cast a spell, transform this into a copy of it. definitely think it can fit in some of those like jackpot rogues stuff because being able to get some of those effects in extra time, very interesting. It does mean though that if you are playing this in the deck, you do kind of have to plan when you will be playing spells a little bit. So you wouldn't be able to play a big thing and then kind of fill in the turn with something smaller if you wanted to get a copy of that larger spell. So it does mean you kind of have to think about the ordering of things a little bit to get the most value off of this. But, of course, depending on what it is, and honestly, even playing this could get you extra copies of just damage. Uh, there's a ton of spells in Rogue that could be beneficial. And of course, with Jackpot, potentially from any class, not just Rogue. So this seems absolutely nutty. And then moving into honestly what might be some of my favorite cards revealed. I am super excited for these. I will say I was not a Demon Hunter fan for like the entire first year the Demon Hunter was a thing, maybe even slightly longer. Once some form of like aggro Demon Hunter started popping up, I kind of started liking Demon Hunter more. But I didn't like Demon Hunter at all for a long time, but now I'm super excited, and these cards seem really cool. So let's look at these. We have Souleater's Scythe, a 4-mana, 4-attack, 2 durability weapon. At the start of the game, consume 3 different minions in your deck. Leave behind souls that discover them. There was a little video shown in Raffle's reveal, kind of showing the animation. Basically, the 3 minions that this consumes become a spell in the deck that when you draw them, it gives you a discover option. And that discover option will show you the 3 minions that were consumed. You'll get to pick one of them, and then the subsequent following spells that you draw will not have that minion in the discover option. So the second one you pull will only be a 2-choice discover. And then, of course, the third one, if you find it, it will only put up that last option for you to take. So really, really interesting kind of concept. I'm a little wary of start of game effects because I think more often than not, we've seen them kind of be very powerful. Ganon Baku ended up having to actually leave standard a year early. We've seen the power of things like Prince Renathal. So definitely some powerful concepts there. And this one I don't think is entirely like game breaking, game changing, but it does have some synergy with some of these other cards that were revealed. So on its own, this card though, I think seems really cool. Now we have Mark of Scorn, a 2-mana spell. Draw a card. If it's not a minion, deal 3 damage to the lowest health enemy. This whole kind of package, this handful of Demon Hunter cards, is kind of relying on not having minions in your deck. So almost the opposite of like the aggro Demon Hunter, that it does have some spells, but it leans heavily on like early minions, small minions, building up a board. And this one is saying no minions, and then you'll get effects. This one is really cool though, because I think that you probably could even play this just for some draw in some decks, or decks that have maybe minimal minions. You probably don't really want to play this, at least not yet, in decks that have a decent chunk of minions, just for the draw. I think currently Demon Hunter has better draw than this, if that's what you're playing the card for. But the potential effect of also dealing 3 damage to the lowest health enemy, fantastic. It's very similar to a Fel Barrage effect, so pretty cool there. And then we have the Felderai Warband, a 4-mana spell that deals 4 damage. And if your deck has no minions, summon 4 1/1 Illidari with Rush. Again, this card is so cool. 4 damage for 4 seems pretty good. You get to choose where that 4 damage goes. So you could target a minion, you could send it face. If you don't have minions in your deck, which, is kind of an upside, or you're probably building your deck in that direction, you also get to summon 4 minions with Rush. Now, the Rush, I think, is the absolute best. We've seen like the ranked spells and stuff for Demon Hunter that just generate 1/1s that don't have rush. And not so great. But I think Demon Hunter especially really feeds off of those 1/1s having rush. So being able to deal 4 damage, whether it's to a minion, and then be able to send in a couple of those 1/1s to kill it off, being able to send that damage face, and then clear up some small stuff on board with those 1/1s, being able to use this effect with the Kurtrus hero power, sending out these 1/1 rushers, and being able to use that hero power repeatedly. There's just so much potential, I think, for this card. So I think personally, this and the weapon are my absolute favorite cards, I think, probably revealed in this whole set so far. These seem really cool. Now, some very interesting cards revealed, new kind of ways to play the classes. I think, honestly, Warrior with like trying to play those fire spells and repeatedly bring things back, and building upon the damaged, minions effect. And then Demon Hunter with trying to build in a no minion direction. Very interesting, kind of different. But what do you think of these cards? I don't know. I'm really excited for these. So let me know in the comments below what you think. And as for that giveaway, if you have not entered yet, I am giving away, courtesy of Blizzard, 3 of these bundles. We have 3 of them. Thank you so much to Blizzard. And there are 60 packs, 2 random legendaries for the set, and that card back. There is a link in the description for you to be able to enter that giveaway. Multiple ways to enter and check out all of the different content that I do. Thank you to everyone who has been entering and checking that out. And again, thank you to Blizzard. And, okay, we had some really interesting legendaries. Let's take a look back at that Priest legendary, because I'm really intrigued by that one as well. So if you haven't already, go ahead and click on that video next, and I will see you in the next one.